Welcome. I am so sorry I'm a few minutes late, but I was working on a couple things. I have been helping my niece-in-law with getting ready for my surgery tomorrow. She helped me with my bedroom, do a couple things I needed to get done, and I got all sweaty. I don't like being all sweaty. So let's see who's here. And can you hear me okay? Just put a thumbs up if you can. Matilda McIntyre, welcome to you. I am so glad you're here. Hello to Priscilla, my sister. I'm glad you are here. Very glad you're here. Maybe we can distract each other for a few minutes today from all the stuff going on around us in the world. Travel Grandma, that will be our special guest today, who is, by the way, it's going to be a fun and a very interesting interview. I'm not even going to call it an interview because I think it's going to be more like a conversation. And that's kind of what I aim for. Let's see, there's Shirley following the yellow brick. Where'd you go? Following the yellow brick road. Thank you, Shirley, for stopping in. I know you are one very busy lady who also travels solo. Mom, let's see what we got going on here. And before we start fully, if you would like to, hello, Catherine Cook. Hello, Catherine. Please tell Homer hello from Richard and I both. Yeah, hopefully. Too much stuff. All right. So if you haven't already had the opportunity and you'd like to give a thumbs up, that does help with my analytics. As everybody, I think most people understand that. And if you would like to share it out onto your own social media, whether it be on, okay, I don't know this language. Do I have any, oh, and so if you would like to share it out on your social media, including your community tab, that would be great. We will get some more people in here. They will come straggling in. So I do have a couple of moderators in the room today, Priscilla and Matilda. So thank you guys for being here and helping me out. If there's any difficulties, just double check in to see if there's anybody else. Catherine, would you, Linda Barker's here. Thank you, Linda. Very appreciated. I had a feeling. I'd like to see if we could make one more moderator. Catherine, are you going to be able to stay, and would you like to be a moderator? I have a feeling I'm going to need a moderator. A couple more. And Shirley, I don't know if you're going to be here long, and that's fine if you can't, but if Shirley and Catherine would be willing to moderate, that would be great. If not, I'm going to just make you moderators, but you don't have to be, all right? Because I just want to get moving here. So what I have to do, oh, and by the way, what we're going to talk about today, one of the things is I'm going to go over briefly, Travel Grandma and I spent some time together teaching her how to do a live stream. And she talked about moderators. So I'm going to show you how to do this. So you can't do it in StreamYard. You have to do it from your YouTube site. Well, where's the camera on the phone? All right. So if you want someone to be a moderator, and they will be a moderator, I'm just going to, there's Roy and Becky. They are moderators. Great. I think we might need one, Roy, Becky. So let's just say I made Catherine. So this is for, OMG, this is for Travel Grandma's benefit. You get your phone and you tap on their name. You know, hold it down for a second and it'll bring up options that you can do for that with that person. and I'm going to tap moderator, add moderator. So there you go. Pretty simple. So you will find out you need moderators eventually. And your channel is large enough that it probably will need it quickly. All right, so I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to let you know that we are doing, we're going to have a fun interview. And let me get her up here. I'm going to drop a link here in a moment. I'm going to drop a link here, and I'm going to invite you up. So that is at the bottom, as if you remember. Copy clipboard, close that, right click on the box and paste. Just copy and paste. That's all you need to do. All right, let's see who's came in the room while I'm waiting for Elaine to come up. So prayers for you too. Thank you. I'm going to give you a quick update on that. Hello, Lance, with Boondocking with Boomer, and I saw your little thing today. Loved it. Glad you're growing. Of course, Roy and Becky, Rayleigh's Creative Travel. See if I missed anybody else. So that's one of the things you can experience, Elaine, is that it might take a few minutes for people to travel into your room. I can't wait for, I won't be able to watch it, but all right, are you ready to come up on screen? Just give me a thumbs up or a wave. All right, just give me a thumbs up or a wave.
I don't see the chat.
You're okay on StreamYard. You won't see the chat.
So go back to the interview.
Oh boy, I'm gonna have to put in my earbud.
I've never done this before.
On StreamYard, you won't see the chat.
So go back to the interview.
Oh boy, I'm gonna have to put in my earbud.
I've never done this before.
On StreamYard, you won't see the chat. Okay. Oh, do you have on YouTube? So do you have on YouTube? If you have on YouTube, you need to mute it.
Oh, okay.
There we go. All right, good. That was it. So there's another little lesson. You cannot be, when you have YouTube on, it has to be muted. You didn't know that. Can you hear me talk? Just put it over there, Brent. Okay. I can't hear you. So your mic, something is muted there. Hello, Thrifty Angela. Thank you for coming. Let's see if it's me. Go ahead and say something. Okay. I can hear you. Let's see if it's me. Go ahead and say something. So do you still have?
I'm like not seeing myself live. It's like muted.
Let's see if it's me. So let me try to figure this out on the fly. Close your YouTube completely. Just X out of YouTube.
Close YouTube.
Close YouTube because you're with me on StreamYard. You will stay on the screen, but that will stop.
Okay, but I can't see the chat.
Oh, all right, that's stopped
wait a minute. Wait. I think I might have. Okay, I see it. I had myself on private chat instead of comments. I got it. Okay, first time, so
That's right. Well, welcome. First of all, welcome.
Okay, I think we got it now.
Everything I think is set correctly. So I just learned to take a deep breath and let it go. You should have seen when I did my first live stream when Richard and I were doing them together at that time. I the camera was on a tripod and it ended up flying up in the air, going down on the floor. I fumbled it like a football. It was a horrible experience, but I did a second one. So that's what matters.
All right.
So Elaine, as you guys, I think most everybody should know Elaine from Travel Grandma. Can you tell me first how many subscribers you have?
You know, I haven't looked lately. I think I have about 4,600, something like that.
And you've gotten there without doing live streams. You
Never been a live stream.
Just have been out doing videos and uploading them, and people have connected with you.
Correct.
Okay. So before we go into a whole lot, can you just tell me a little bit about what about travel? Where did you start thinking you wanted to travel, and how'd you do that?
Well, my sons traveled shortly after they got out of high school. So they took a couple of trips two of my sons took trips to Europe. So that like perked my interest because, you know, I've never been, you know, well, I've been to Mexico, but never, and Canada, but never really, you know, overseas or anything. And then I took my granddaughter in 2017. I took my granddaughter to Paris for her high school graduation.
Oh,
and
wow.
just fell in love with going overseas.
Uh-huh.
So the following year, I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I just pulled it out of my hat. I taught piano lessons for a year. I earned the money to travel overseas. Well, actually, now I got to back up. First, I was going to buy another RV because my husband and I have owned 3 RVs before. But by this time, we had sold them. You know, things change in your family, and you switch vehicles and stuff like that. So I was set on going to buy an RV because I figured I have all this money saved. I'm going to go buy an RV. It was going to be a road trek because I love the road trek. And I thought that would be perfect for me because by this time, my husband, I had taken him, you know, overseas, and I had taken him to, you know, travel across the United States and things like that. Well, we went together. I didn't take him, but, you know, I was like the force behind it. You know, he kind of followed me. And
I can imagine.
Yeah. So I was at my youngest son's wedding, and all our kids were there and everything. And so I told them that this is what I was going to do. And they go, Mom, why are you going to do that? You've already, you know, done the United States. Go overseas. You know, go to Italy. Do something different. So I thought about it, and I'm going, oh God, I got all this money. This is like a one-time chance for me. You know, I don't have a retirement or anything like that yet at that time. And so I hesitated and I hesitated. And then I happened to go online and I found some websites for hosts where you can go and you can like teach English, and they would put you up in their home. All you had to do is pay for your travel expenses. And I thought, well, I could do that. So that's what I did. And that's how I went to Europe and then came home with practically all the money that I had saved. Came home. First thing, I bought another RV. I didn't buy a road trek, though. I bought something a little bit bigger. It was a 23-foot, maybe it was a 22-foot Class B plus, they called it. Just a little bit bigger than a road trek. Because it had a big TV, and I thought, okay, now maybe with this TV, because my husband says, this is so cute. He claims that he has a PhD in TV.
I know that husband.
Not one. I said, okay, I got this RV. I got this big TV. Let's go. No, not going to happen. You know, he had settled in. He had all his golf buddies. That's his enjoyment, and I didn't want to take him away from that, you know. But, you know, he will go on trips with me, hopefully. That's the reason for my new van build. I'm kind of jumping ahead of myself a little bit, but I did do some traveling with my family. My daughter flew out with her husband and her grandkids, and we all trucked up, you know. did some traveling the summer before COVID. Then I decided after that year, if it's just going to be me traveling, I'm going to do a minivan. And I'm going to try it. I'm going to buy one. I'm just going to do a no build. And I think I sent you that picture, Lucretia, of that no build. First one that I did. And I just put it up on the internet and, on YouTube. I started a channel. I got so many hits. I'm going, whoa. People like this kind of stuff. I'm just gonna document my travels and see how it goes. And that's how my YouTube channel started. And then people started telling me that they wanted to connect. And then that has grown to about, I checked the other day, I think it's about 650 women.
Wow.
Yeah. And a pretty, over the summer, really. And that's where we're at.
So there's a question there about how long you stayed in Europe.
I stayed in Europe about 4 or 5 months. And I would set up these, I don't know if you'd call them engagements, but, and mostly what I did was I hooked up with families that had children, because I figured if they had children, it was a pretty safe bet that they're decent people. Not always, but I think it's a pretty safe bet. And at the time, now this was a couple of years ago, so we met over Skype, and we would connect a couple of months beforehand to get to know each other. So they would get to know me and welcome me into their home, and I would feel comfortable going there too. And I would stay with a family for about 2 weeks to a month. I did a couple in Spain, Madrid. I did one in Madrid, then Barcelona. And I went to, where else did I go? I did one in Belgium, quite a few. And I do have that documented on my website.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And then my husband met me in Italy. So we spent some time there together, and we went to Greece. We took a cruise to Greece. So that was fun. And then I had all planned. I was going to go to Germany. Not Germany. Was it Germany? Oktoberfest. Yeah, I guess it was. And I was going to go there, but I don't drink beer. So I thought, why would I go to Oktoberfest if I don't drink beer? And so I said, you know what? I'm going to go to Egypt. So I didn't pre-plan that at all. It was just kind of spur of the moment. And I just booked a private tour to Egypt. And it was so great to do it that way. Even though it costs quite a bit more, I was able to not just go and see, all the pyramids and all that stuff, which is great to see. But what I was able to do was have a guide go with me, and I said, I want to go where the locals are. And so he would take me, and I got to ride on a donkey, the donkey cart through the fields. I just, said, I want to meet the people. I got to have dinner in somebody's home. Of course, I couldn't understand anything they were saying, but and you have to be. I was really careful about eating certain things, and I would just kind of, I didn't want to be rude. I just kind of move things around on my plate, and then I just eat when I got back. But
so was it because it was really unappetizing kind of things that you just weren't used to?
No, it's just because I was, you don't know their how they cook, or you have to be careful of the water content and things like that.
So that's the kind of thing that someone like me wouldn't even think twice about. But you're bringing up a good point about safety, safety in a different way than many of us think about. Preparation of food, the use of water.
Oh yeah.
And were there certain countries that seemed more necessary in?
No, just Egypt. I mean, Croatia was fine. That's, I went there for a while. No, I didn't worry that much when I was actually in Europe.
Okay. So along the way, what did your family have any opinions?
I think they were excited for me. I really do. They pushed me to go, so I went.
Uh-huh. Well, I could tell you my little sister who's on here would have a heart attack if I just went to Europe. And I think it would be great the way you did it. And the way you did it was, so you taught?
Yeah, well, most of the families, they would work during the day or like mostly at home, they would have like different businesses and things like that. And I would take their children to the park, and all they wanted me to do is just talk normally, not even really teach English, just have that exposure of an English speaking person in their home.
Oh, wow.
We would sit, if I was, and then, I'd just do that for a few hours a day, 3 or 4 hours a day. And then I was free the rest of the time to travel within the area myself. And what was great about it, this was such a perk that I didn't really anticipate when I first started this. Is I had built-in tour guides everywhere I stayed, because they would tell me what bus to take, what train to take. They would just guide me. And sometimes we'd go out to dinner together, or, they'd take me up on the, tramway and things like that. So it was just like I was part of their family. It was wonderful. I would do it again. I can't wait. I would love to do it again once all this COVID mess is over.
Is there any place else that you feel like you'd like to go and see that you didn't really get to see? By the way, one point, I would go, I don't drink anything, but I would still go to Oktoberfest for the food. I can only imagine their pretzels. I don't know if it's real, if they do soft pretzels in Germany, but the soft pretzels for Oktoberfest, and I happen to like sauerkraut. I love sauerkraut.
I love it, yeah.
So is there any place that you feel like you'd like to either go back to and see more of, or that you did not get to see?
I would love to go back to Italy. I love Italy. Well, we're Italian, so we have some family there. I would love to go to Africa and work with the elephants.
Oh,
that would be so fun.
That would be.
There's a group called Bamboo Something that does that. I don't know if they still do. That would be fabulous.
That would be an amazing opportunity if you could do something like that. I adore elephants. I have like everything zoo, several zoo shows on the records, Zoo Down Under, zoo. There's like 5 zoo shows. Richard and I climb into bed and we'll sit there and we'll just watch our zoo shows. Because we both love animals.
Yeah. Gorillas are kind of cool though too. That would
what's that?
Gorillas are kind of cool. My husband loves gorillas.
Yeah. I
could see us doing something like that together if there's an opportunity.
Well, that would be an amazing thing to do.
Gorillas? Yeah, I think he'd go for that.
Cool. Yeah. Well, so you went from, did you ever have a Class A?
We started out with a Class C, and that was more of a family, but I got to tell you, it's kind of big. And between me and my husband, we banged up that thing so bad. I mean, I ripped off the awning.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, but he ruined our bikes.
Okay, there you go.
He backed up into something. So that's a touche there.
Yeah. Yep.
It was just too big. We had this big old queen bed in the back. And I got rid of that one.
That's so interesting because, I'm thinking, well, and our situations are different because I have a disability. We need a little more room. So we have a 24, 25-foot Class C with a single bed, what are they called? The single beds on each side.
Oh,
twin beds. And there's good mattresses on them. And then, but in the very middle is a huge armoire, goes bottom to ceiling. So I can't see Richard's face ever. And I do, want to look over and see him at least. So this RV is not our lifetime RV. It doesn't necessarily have to be longer, just a little bigger living area. Because you're right, it is a challenge sometimes to drive, and I've driven ours most of the time. So
especially if you're a first timer.
You should have seen me when we brought it home and I was driving. We had to go about 2.5 hours back up north up the freeway, and I was hanging on, and people were on my live stream telling me to just breathe, Lucretia. It'll be okay.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Go ahead. No, finish. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Oh no, it's all right. So you've had the Class C, you've had a Class B plus, and now you're
in a road trek.
And you did have a road trek.
I did have a road trek. Yeah, I sold that one. Actually, got into a little situation on the freeway. It wasn't my fault. Hi.
That's my nephew saying hi.
Thanks for helping me yesterday. So your son. What happened was I had taken a trip, and I think I went to a balloon festival at Lake Havasu. And then I had gone to California. We were living in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho at the time. And I was driving to California to visit my son before I went back up north. And I'm on the freeway. I think I was on the 10 freeway. And as this tire comes flying over, there was a car on the opposite side of the roadway, and he lost a tire, and it flew up over the divider. It hit 2 cars, smashed those up, and then it landed under my road truck van. And yeah, so I obviously had to try to pull over out of traffic. I was in the right lane, luckily. And it didn't really do that much damage underneath. I was still able to drive it to a gas station to have it checked out. But the bumper was busted, and it was, getting old. And so I said, you know what? We were getting ready to move back to California with my mom because I was caregiving her. Let's just sell it. I don't know when I'm going to get to go out traveling again, caring for her. So I said, I'll just sell it and I'll get something at some point, maybe.
And you did.
The road trek, and I did.
And you're now.
I have to tell you, I'm traveling in my bones. I don't know. It's just in my bones. I just love it.
So you now have a Dodge.
2018 Dodge Grand Caravan that I got last April.
I'm going to pull up a couple pictures here. Let's see. One thing here. Let me see what my little sister has to say. Oh, she's just telling Shanna hello. So I'm going to pull up a few pictures here and take a look at it. Let me go to. I'm having a little trouble for some reason with this, but I will get it figured out. I first want to share something here that is yours. How
do you keep up with the chat? I can't even pay attention here. Can I read them later? How does that work?
Yes, you can read them later.
Okay. All
right. Here is your Travel Grandma page. You have 4,401 or 10 friends, and you have, as far as videos, let's see, do you have any idea how many videos you have done?
I do. I have 99 videos. I just noticed that the other day, and I thought, I should do something special for my 100th video. I'm planning something for Saturday's upload.
Okay, cool. So, and when you started out, tell me if I'm wrong, because I could be wrong, you were not overly excited about boondocking.
No.
I know, I loved that video. So do you want to talk about that maybe?
Yeah, I'm very scared.
So what part of it made you feel scared?
The dark.
Yes. Here.
It's pitch black, and I was in the forest. It just shocked me. It's just like, oh my God, I can't see anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was really scary for me.
Yeah, I think that, in my opinion, see right there, that is a normal response to that. I know several women, and couple, at least one of them, Box Van D, is on here, or she was. She is a single female traveler who camps by herself and is able to do all that. I, on the other hand, I believe I would have, darn it, I would have a little bit of a problem by myself. And let's see if you're able to see this.
Well, I wasn't scared in that way. It's just that the dark shocked me.
Right.
You know, I felt like I was in a safe area. I wasn't, afraid of that. And I don't know. I mean, I've always been a little bit afraid of the dark. You know, I've had night lights on a lot of the times and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's from childhood. So that just threw me for a loop.
I've always had that fear too.
Persevered. I had some comments saying, "Oh, you shouldn't be doing, the van thing. You shouldn't be doing this, and da 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 da. You're not cut out for it." And I go, "Yes, I am." And so I persevered, and I boondocked again a couple of times on that same trip, shortly afterwards. So I kind of got over that initial fear.
Uh-huh. And you know what? People do things differently.
Yes.
Are you seeing anything right now that I just pulled up?
I'm seeing just welcome scrolling across the screen.
Okay. So the link to pull these up, your videos, she sent me several pictures of her RV.
Yeah.
I mean, of her Grand Caravan, and I am it's not wanting to allow me to pull them up, and I never had that happen. So I'm going to just, while you're we don't want to do that because that's going to pull up all my pictures. And I got everything you can imagine. It's just a lot of stuff there. But
I can just tell you, I started out with a no build. I in the minivan you have what's called stow and go seats, and so I stowed all of the seats down, and I just took things from my house that I had that I figured I could maybe make a bed out of. My daughter-in-law had given me an ottoman a while back, and it was wide. It was short, but it was wide enough. So I just one day I took it out into the minivan, and I said, "Oh, this might be able to work. I just need to figure out how to make it a little bit longer." So I had bought a refrigerator for the van also, and it was the same width. It was 27 inches, so I put that in. I said, "Okay, that works." So then I scrounged around and I saw another smaller 15-inch ottoman, square one, like normal size.
Yeah.
I put that at the head of the bed. Oh, there we go. That's my new one. Can you pull up the first build, Lucretia?
I will.
You can, or
I will work on finding that.
I built this by myself. Can you believe it?
You built it all by yourself?
On my condo patio. Yes.
Oh my gosh! So you also have some carpentry skills.
Well, I wouldn't say so because I've never done anything like this before, and I have to tell you, it was scary. It was really scary. I would go out there and I would tell myself, I says, if you just have confidence, you can do this. Just muster up that confidence. You can't go back now because then you can't go out traveling again. You got to finish this thing, you know? So that pushed me along. Yeah, it was total fear. But, you get over it.
so the fear that you have legitimately had, I never diminish somebody's fear because, by the way, I've got a few of them, and one of them is the total blackness too. I don't like that. How do you think yourself through it, or do you have a tool in your head that you use?
No, I just talk my way through it. And then mostly it's because of desperation. Like, I have to finish this minivan build or I can't go anywhere because just before I had done this particular build, and this was the latest video that I did. I haven't shown this yet to anybody. You are like exclusively seeing this for the first time. Nobody but my husband, not even my kids, have seen this build before. You are first up.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the first I've shown it to anybody. I will be doing a video and doing some like little tutorials of how I managed to do certain things and some screw ups and how I fixed my screw ups and stuff like that,
Right.
So yeah, you're the first ones to see this.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Just before this, what I did was when I was traveling this summer, winter, there's my first, but I don't know why it's so small.
Well, it came to me.
The ottoman back there and the refrigerator in the front. And then on the right side there, I had bought some dressers from Amazon. They had like cloth drawers. And I just see that strap going up to the ceiling. I had just secured it that way to the seat belt. Excuse me.
Good idea.
That was my first build. I drove from Southern California all the way to Maine. I took my time. I think I was out on the road maybe 3 months before I got to Maine. And yeah, that's what I lived in.
Well, that the billet, so that you went in there and you just had an idea. You just first of all wanted to go, and you didn't want to have a big build, and so you just put it all.
The reason I didn't want to do a big build was I wasn't sure I was going to keep the minivan.
Okay.
I wasn't sure it was going to be big enough for me. I wasn't sure if I was going to like not being able to stand up, because the other RVs I had, I could stand up, but you can't in a minivan. But I figured just as long as you can sit down straight up with your, a little bit of headroom, I could scoot this way or I could scoot that way. I had my kitchen right in front of me. I had everything in the drawers. I could put my stove up on the countertop of the dresser. So, I worked it out. Yeah. So I didn't want to do anything to it because I figured if I don't like this, I got to be able to sell this.
Right.
Get something bigger. I didn't want to lose my money by messing it up. So then anyway, by the time I got to my daughter's house, I was tired of the ottoman. I said, okay. My son-in-law offered to build me a bed. So he built me a bed. And I discovered after he built me that bed, I didn't have any room for my refrigerator anymore. It got kind of crowded because the bed was a lot longer, where my refrigerator took up part of that space. So then I thought, okay, I'll fix it when I get home. I'll do something different.
Right.
But then I went to Celia's house. Now, Celia is a member of my Facebook community. She became a dear friend before I got to her house. I went to her house and I was talking to her about, changes I wanted to make and stuff like that. And she goes, well, my son could certainly help you. And so her son walks in the room and I was telling him about my design ideas and stuff like that. And he goes, well, I could do this. But then she shows me her van and I do a tour of her van. Fabulous van, and I do have that up on my YouTube channel.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's the one that says it takes a village. Fabulous.
I think you're right. Yep.
Yeah, so many people helped her to build that van. She had taken out all of her seats. Now I was going to go there because I have grandkids and I use my car as a vehicle when I'm home. I'm part-time. So I was not going to take out all my seats. But we did take out the back seat.
Uh-huh.
And what a difference that made. And I have the last video that I showed, I think it aired last Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Shows that build. And it's called Patchwork because it's crazy. Well, at the time, you know, we couldn't get any wood really because it was so expensive. And it was unavailable in certain areas. We just couldn't get the hinges. We couldn't get the things that I really needed for that build. I should have sent you the patchwork one, but that's okay. You can look it up. But so there's my refrigerator down there in the well. That's where the seats were. And I have to tell you, it was scary taking those out for the first time because there's no going back. I mean, I could have kept the seats, I suppose. People do keep their seats and then they put them back in, but I'm on the road.
Right.
I'm gonna put 2 big old seats.
Exactly.
And all my stuff. It's not going to happen. So I just left them there, and she said that she would sell them. But yeah, that was a big step. Then I knew, okay, I have to make a decision. I got to keep the van now. There's no way, you know, or sell it as, you know, just a camper van. So this is the build with the okay. So my idea was to have, I had goals in mind. You have to have goals.
Right.
Was to still have my 4 seats available, be put up at any time, and also be able to sleep 2 people. Because if it can't sleep 2 people, there's no chance that my husband will ever go with me.
Right.
You know, if I don't have that offering, there's no way. So that was my goal. Just those 2 goals. That's all I wanted. I wanted to have, you know, a passenger car to be able to go and pick up my grandkids and take them out for an ice cream or go camping sometime.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wanted to be able to take my husband with me at some point.
Right.
If he'll go. I think he might. He came
and
out
you know,
today and he was looking at it and he was gone.
I have never seen, so personally, I've never seen a, I've always thought I wanted to do this in a van. Okay. I realize technically what I have is a van, but I always wanted to do it in like a, you know, those extended vans that are like 15 seaters, rip all the seats out and start from there. But I can tell you, looking at that, if I were totally alone in the world, as far as I didn't have a spouse or, you know, not that I don't love you, Richard. I think I would try it in that. Now, see the toilet issue. So, I need to back up a second.
Okay.
So,
everybody, why do you guys have to, you know, you do like everybody else does it. I mean, come on.
That's right. So tell me what do you do in a van? You know, you have a Dodge Grand Caravan, which I've had 3 of them, by the way, and I love them. That's the one I'd choose if I were choosing. What do you do about toileting?
Okay, well, I have the best setup right now, I have to tell you, in this new van. When I started out, I got a child-size potty chair.
Uh-huh.
And it happened to have like a lot of them are like kind of like molded, but this one happened to be straight on the top, and it was made to where you can actually use it as a step stool too. It was a step stool with a hole in it, and so I would just put bags, and it was kind of low to the ground, so because it's child size.
Right.
I would just set it up on, lift my mattress up and set it up on the frame, and then go. Roll it up and, get rid of it as soon as I could, trash cans at gas stations or,
right.
Like everybody else. I mean, I'm no different. So.
But that is one of those things people are always curious about. But
and there's gas stations, there's places to go too. You can go in restaurants. There's
right.
I don't live in my van. At night, you might have to, tinkle a little bit, but, you could go to a go out for breakfast or
Right.
whatever. You work it out. I mean, it's just like people have road traveled for a long time.
Yes.
It's just called nomads now. But people have been taking road trips for a long time. What do they do? I don't think they carried potty chairs with them.
I don't think so either. I think they
You know?
do. They make do in one way or another.
Yeah, but
And before we
it's
go
a
in,
good idea to be a little bit prepared. But in
Yes.
this one here, see that first cabinet there? See where my measuring thing is, my level right there, that yellow thing?
Yep.
Okay.
Right.
Under there, that portion is my bed. Under there, if you flip that up, I actually have a square adult size potty chair. I think the dimensions, I believe, are 11 and a half square by 13 high. So it's like a small ottoman, and it has a lid with it has a lid on it, completely closed lid, to where you could actually set it out in your van and nobody would even know it was a potty chair.
Oh, wow.
With the lid, and then underneath there is another little insert lid that has a hole in the middle, and then you put bags in it. Yeah. So I mean, it's kind of big, but I think it's going to work out really well. I haven't used it yet. But.
Well, when I first started looking at this lifestyle, I realized I could do it. Bob Wells made me realize I could poop in a bucket if I had to.
Yeah.
If it was necessary for me to see the country, I could do it.
Right.
So a couple questions here. So this is against the what is this right here?
That's my back hatch. Okay. So on the left where that ruler thing is, that's my bed. That half is my bed, and that's 24 inches wide. Across then I have one of those lagoon style tables.
Yes,
that swings around very nicely. Actually, I really love it.
Yeah.
Then on the in back of that is my kitchen area. Under there, I have my jackery. And I'm going to put, nothing is in it right now because I'm just finishing it up. I have to put a couple more coats of varnish or whatever sealer on the wood. But under there, that will be all my food. And then above that, do you see that white wall? There's a purpose for that white wall.
Okay.
In the minivan, you have like these side cup holders.
Yes.
And it's kind of wasted space. So by having that board across, that I put it across that whole side, I have a well. And in back of the kitchen area, I keep a 5-gallon water container with an electric pump. And it stays secure there because that wall is holding it up.
Oh, that's
and on
smart.
The other side, I put toiletries. It has another well. And I actually extended that well with a little, with some shelving there.
So you got to this.
With the minivan, I want to go back to your question about getting a big van. The difference with the minivan is building it out is extremely difficult because it has unlevel floors. It's a nightmare trying to get the floors level. You can't get the floors level. You have to get everything around it level. So my son-in-law had a brilliant idea in Maine. He took a board, and then what he did was he took another little, I don't know if it was like a 2x4 or something like that, and then he just went like this with the board and traced all along the whole outline of the floor. And so that created a template to then be able to put that board level. It was level on the top, and this is all like totally crooked because the floor isn't even in a minivan, and then you build up from there. That's the point where you build onto. That's how you level things in your minivan.
Oh, wow.
If you were to have like a cargo van, you wouldn't have that issue because everything would be straight. It would be so much easier. In addition, you would also have things to attach to the walls. I have nothing to attach to the walls. That's why I had to put that wall up myself. Now, there's nothing but seat belts to attach things to, unless you ripped out your siding and, the side of your minivan. I wasn't going to attempt that.
No, no, no. One question though, do you have any, what is the word? Do you have a fan in your van yet? Are you,
I have 2 USB fans, one on each side.
uh,
Yeah, I will be doing a video of when I'm putting everything back in again.
mhm.
You know, that video is not up yet, but when you're on the road, you figure out what you need and what you don't need. Everybody starts out with too much stuff. Everybody does that. This here, that's my mattress that I had in my other build.
Uh-huh.
That basically fits on my bedside. See how it goes all the way across?
Yes.
Then those 2 back cushions, that
Uh-huh.
actually is a couch.
Right.
These are actually part of the other bedside. And then I
Mhm.
have another one as well. I just put that up temporarily just to test it out.
Mhm.
But I actually, just before I logged on here, I actually went on Amazon and I bought a different mattress setup. I'm gonna
Oh,
try it out. I'm
uh-huh.
not gonna do, because these have to be covered. We just
Right.
put sheets on those for now, just to
Mm.
have something covered.
Yep.
When I was at Celia's house, she sewed those up for me. Did a great
Mhm.
job.
Now
But
this is one question. Is this a configuration of your current, this, you just drop this down, correct?
this is
This,
my end.
right, right. Okay. You know what I really like about this is it's very it's calm. So I watch few people that are in vans exactly like this, and one of them, it's so chaotic I can't even think. I just like her. And she's got 40,000 subscribers. And she's a great girl and she travels with a dog, but it's a very chaotic van and I would never feel comfortable in that. And then another one, Minivan Lee, wonderful. I like her, except I can't sit on the floor and sit Indian style any longer. So she's a lot more flexible. I am not. And so something like this,
She's a lot thinner than me too.
I love her. I just adore her.
Yeah.
And so this is something more my speed. Let me just say that, where it's up, I could sit and work. You're able to obviously sit and do your videos. And if it's raining outside, you don't have to, be out in the elements or try to find a place to go to.
Uh-huh. But you have to figure right now, there's nothing in there. I'm not living in there right now. I just built this. So there will be other stuff in there. But I have to tell you, there is a place. I built this around having a place for everything.
Right.
In the back area there where you see it's kind of open back.
Right here. Yeah.
I wish I had a pointer too. All my refrigerator is down there. And then actually the way that it's built, it opens up like this. So my bed goes up like this, and then the other side goes up like this, so I can get to my refrigerator. And I have my refrigerator situated to where I can get to it, open it from the inside or the outside.
Yes.
Either way. And then there's still room in there to put all my camping gear. I have a small tent that I get. I don't sleep in my tent, but I bring it to campsites that don't allow car camping.
Oh.
So yeah. I just carry one with me.
Mm-hmm.
And this way I'll never get turned away. People have to drive in their car to their tent site, right?
That's right.
A tent site.
That's right.
Then I have then I'm going to have a chair back there, camping things that you camp with. And then I also have room on the side of my refrigerator for my sleeping bag, extra blankets, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Underneath my bed on the other side, that's closer to the seat there's all my clothes and then my potty chair and my shoes. I have a little cubby for shoes that I can just reach in and do that. And I can extend that bed. I have like a flip up on the side. You can't really see it in this picture. So that's designated area. In back of the bed in that well that I was talking about, in back of that wall, I keep all my toiletries, my shampoo and all that stuff.
Right. So you've used your area really smartly.
But I built this build around that because I needed to play. I discovered I had no place for my shoes in my other build. I needed a place for my shoes. I had no place for my jackery to be secured down. Now I have jackery to be secured down in front of my kitchen area there.
Sure.
I can still put my 2 seats up, those 2 middle seats up, so I have 4 passengers at any given time without disrupting my living quarters back there at all. I don't have to move anything around.
That's the picture that I'm looking for as we chat, because
Okay. Yeah.
I'm amazed. I will tell you, that amazed me.
Yeah. It amazes me too. I didn't think I could do it, But when I was on the road, I figured out all these things. I figured out what I needed. I started out with too much stuff. When I got to Iowa, I connected with I don't want to say old, but a childhood friend.
Mhm.
And I said, I got way too much stuff. You want my ottoman? You want this dresser? I don't need this anymore. Let me downsize. I gave her my rug. She was happy to have it. But if you're watching, Linda, hi. I love visiting you. Hope we can do it again. Yeah, that was. And then when I got to my daughter's house, I was so sick of my refrigerator because I couldn't quite figure out how to keep my jackery charged enough to keep my refrigerator charged, because I wasn't camping for long periods of time.
Mm-hmm.
I was just kind of hopping from city to city, and I'd forget to plug in my jackery. I didn't want to take out my portable solar panels. What a pain in the butt that was. I hated it. In fact, one night I had to actually stay up in Starbucks charging my jackery. I brought my jackery into Starbucks and a 1,000-watt jackery, and I put it up on the counter and I says, "May I charge my jackery? I'm out of power."
Yeah.
And they said, "Yes."
How long does it take you to charge it?
I never figure out that kind of stuff. You're gonna have to ask somebody techie for that.
Well, no, I understand. I wouldn't know either.
Yeah.
I would.
I'm like the wrong. Everybody on my group will tell you I'm like the wrong person to ask tech stuff.
Well, so this is your refrigerator.
I have a love-hate relationship with my refrigerator.
I understand.
But I recently discovered a solution, and I'm not going to reveal that solution to you. Okay. You're going to have to watch my video.
Okay.
You're going to have to subscribe to my. Yeah.
Now, is this the refrigerator you gave away?
I did not give it away. I was going to give it to my daughter.
Uh-huh.
But I ended up keeping it. That's my original refrigerator. And you see how I open those 2 tops? And you can reveal the refrigerator? Yeah. And then there's so much room still there for all my camping stuff.
Mm-hmm. So while I'm looking for that picture, that's the reveal picture. That's making me crazy trying to find it.
Yeah. Well, if I could share it too, I would, but I wouldn't know how to do that.
Okay, so you should be able to pull it up, go into your pictures, wherever you keep those pictures, and just click on it.
Question, Lucretia.
Oh. Can you resend it to me?
Did I send that to you from Facebook? I think so.
Probably. I believe everything came from there.
Okay, and you want the one where it shows all 4 seats up?
Well, whatever one is your favorite for your reveal of your build. I know. I'm struggling.
Let me show you. I don't know. Let me try this. Can you guys see this?
Oh, I can see it.
Okay. So, as you can see the jackery is under my kitchen? That's where I have my jackery. And beside that, in that whole, let's just call it a box, it's going to be all my kitchen stuff. Okay. Then on the other side, see that flip up?
Yes.
That's like a fold down, I don't know, hinge or bracket, however you call it. And that extends my bed. Now, you see those white things on the floor? That's the where the chair is. So I flip down that flip up board, and then
Okay.
I can put my chair up there. Now, do you
Oh.
see that in front of my jackery? I don't have anything on
Uh-huh.
so that's my other seat. Now,
Oh.
what I couldn't put another flip up there. I didn't really want to put a flip up there.
Mm-hmm.
So my chair is in front of there, right? My seat. So I can put that seat up. I flip down just the back of my seat, and my husband will put his feet right on the seat, like I have that board for my side.
Okay.
And see in the middle there,
Mm-hmm.
that's part of that table. So that table, that lagoon table, that
Uh-huh.
off, and that makes it in that middle area for him to have a big full bed. I don't know, it's like 47, 48 inches. So
Uh-huh.
I don't know if that's quite a full bed, but I think it'd be fine.
Yeah. So
Maybe
you
we can sleep on 24 inches. I mean, we can certainly fit. And
yes.
it'll also be cozy. But anyway,
Cozy, yes.
then those pillows that, remember when you saw the couch in back, the kind of like a couch area? Those are 12 inches wide. So I think a lot of time, well, what I did in my other one is I put those beside me. I had a board also in the middle area there. I had those pillows beside me, and that actually opened it up to be a 36-inch wide. Well, I didn't suffer at all.
Oh wow. That
Yeah.
that would be a nice sleep.
Yeah.
Let's
But
see.
you don't know these things until you're out on the road and you figure out your own style.
So that's kind of what I was going to say, is that you got this from the first initial no build you did, finding out what you like, what you don't need.
Experience traveling in an RV, some experience there, because in an RV, the RV that we had, the Road Trek, it was kind of like that, where you had like mattresses on the side, and then you had a table in the middle. You put the tabletop down, and that extends to a full bed. This is really that same concept. I didn't invent anything new. I just took what I already knew and I kind of reconfigured it to be minivan size.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
It's,
well, that's a smart
scary to build. It was trying to figure out things. I got quite a bit of help from Celia's son Andrew, because we figured out how it could be worked out without the back seat in there. Doing supports and things like that. And it really wasn't that hard once I knew that. Once I watched him. I wanted to do the build myself, but, I couldn't take that on. I was already there 9 days. I overstayed my welcome as it is, but, we had so much fun.
It seemed like you probably didn't overstay your welcome. It seemed like they really liked having you there.
I mean, he just took me in. I adore her family. Oh, I love you guys.
That's cool. That makes, so you have a place and people to go back and see. Yeah. Here's a question. Have you ever, so it's kind of one I should have asked early on, for other women who might be thinking about this, have you ever felt in fear for your life out on the road, being a woman traveling alone?
No.
Okay, good. And I'm sure you've got some mitigation measures in case there was to be a problem, whether it be bee spray or bear spray or something.
Yeah, I read all that stuff that you should have that stuff, and I did buy all that stuff, but, I don't think it's that necessary. I mean, yeah, probably in the woods. When I went on a hike one time, I did carry bear spray with me.
Oh, good.
While I was hiking. And, so I think that's necessary. But all these other things, I go where it's safe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go out of my car at night at all. I don't get gas at night. I go to my sleeping destination, wherever that might be. And I have to tell you, a lot of the times I felt very secure because I traveled with, I don't know if you'd call them curb buddies, but there's this organization called Sisters on the Fly.
Yes.
part of the organization, they have Sisters on the Curb. And it's a camping adventure group. And you can find it from sistersonthefly.com. And they have, oh my gosh, they have so many events that they plan for women. And it's wonderful. Oh my God, so much fun. And they have a map of all women who, they're not traveling at that particular time. And they travel on all different kinds of things, trailers and RVs and minivans and cars and tents. And if they're home, they will, and if they have room, maybe in front of their house, or maybe they have a piece of property where you can park on their land, they will put up on a map to tell you that, welcome. We welcome you in your travels. We want you to be safe out there on the road. And I have stayed with so many wonderful women. Oh my gosh. Just wonderful. If you're a woman traveling by yourself and you want to connect with other women, Sisters on the Fly is the way to go.
I've got their
it's, I wouldn't be able to really do the kind of traveling that I did and meet the kind of people that I did without this organization.
I've heard a lot of everything I've ever heard about them is positive, that they are extremely supportive of one another.
Very supportive. And you just text them or call them up and say, hey, I'm going to be in your area. Do you have room for me on your curb? Oh yeah, come on by. Hey, you know what? I'll get together some of the other sisters in the area and we'll go out to dinner or whatever like that. I mean, that's how it went. I mean, I have a lot of videos on my website, not my website, my YouTube channel, under a playlist called Sisters on the Fly. And you can see all of those places that I've been.
Well, and you have another one here that I'm going to pull up for you. Maybe you could. This is one I had never heard about, and maybe you could tell us about them.
Okay. Who's this? Is this Girl Camper?
Yes, it's Girl Camper.
Girl Camper, I just recently joined. Somebody from my Facebook group recommended Girl Camper, and I checked them out, and they look really like a fun group too. I hope to meet some of them soon because they have a lot of different events, and they're I don't know if they're worldwide. I think they're, at least for sure, they're nationwide.
Well, that was a good, not.
I don't know whether they offer the curb though. I suppose if you get to meet people, maybe at a camping event, you can connect with them that way. But yeah.
And let's see if there was any other ones here.
I used to belong to like Harvest Hosts and Boondockers Welcome, which is kind of a combined one now. And that was great. I did that when I had my RV, similar to Sisters on the Curb in that respect. But I can't do that anymore because they don't allow anybody in a minivan.
Well,
they don't consider you self-contained.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I really am. I have running water. I have a toilet. I mean,
right?
What else you want? Seriously, I mean, get over it.
I'm trying to find a way to make it so we can see you better. Well, dang it! What the heck happened? I better go back here to this. I still have things to learn about this, by the way, too.
Oh, this is my private group.
This is her private Facebook page for women only, correct?
Yeah, I don't know if you want to really show this one.
Okay.
It's supposed to be private.
Well, so how do they find you?
Oh, well, I have announced it on my YouTube channel. And you have to kind of go through this little process to get in because we don't just let anybody in.
Right.
And
that's kind of like, I wanted you to talk about that a little.
So I screen everybody.
Yep.
So a lot of people, it takes a while, maybe a few days or, whenever I get to it to get you in. But once you're in, you're in.
Right.
And then we have this understanding that, if something doesn't feel right to you, you let me know and they're out of there. We don't mess around. I want everybody to feel safe in there. I really do. It's important. It's important to me when I travel, and it's important to them.
Yes. Well, and haven't you also got a new one that you're starting, a new Facebook group that you're starting?
I am starting one through the membership. I just started this like the first of the year, and that will be open to men and women.
Okay. Is that on Patreon?
I think it's like $1.
Oh, that's right.
It's just a way to connect. Basically, it's not like I'm not going to make any money from it. I mean, I'm not in that for that. It's just I wanted to have a way to connect to people, and attached to that membership is going to be a Facebook group.
So, by the way, I wanted to say, you don't have to be apologetic about $1 or whatever. You actually have built your channel by doing videos. You're out there traveling. You're doing all the things that people want to see. And so, I don't mean to scold you, but you're worth $1, by the way.
Well, Patreon actually, I think YouTube is like 99 cents. Patreon's like $1. So for a penny more,
Yes.
you can go down Patreon too.
So you have
actually on Patreon, because I started this before I started the YouTube membership, I have every video and a lot of comments and posts about me going through my van build. From day one, I take you onto my patio. I show you my tiny patio and how I work on there. And I just use, I have very limited skills. I have a drill, I have a jigsaw, and I have a sander, and Home Depot cut me the wood.
Yes.
Most of it. I did screw up on one thing. They cut me the wood. And that's how I did it. And I don't have a parking spot very close to my condo. So I have to carry that wood all the way to my car. A parking spot that I can find close enough to my condo. We hoard that parking spot because it's like premium here.
I bet.
We have like one carport. And
oh, wow.
And then I have to go and I have to do the measurements, and then I have to bring it back. I have to cut the wood and go back and I have to do the measurements again, And then finally my husband moved his car and I took the carport.
Mm-hmm.
So I got for a little while. I moved it back since,
Well, it seems like you've got someone on here who you might know.
Oh, Andrew, that's my son. Yeah, he lives really close to me. Hi, Andrew. Shout out to you.
Hi, Andrew. Thank you for coming by and checking us out. You got a great mom, a brave mom, actually, a brave mom. I think that the things that you've done, the traveling to Europe, and a little bit into Africa is amazing.
I didn't go to Africa. I said I want to go to Africa.
Isn't Egypt part of
Africa?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, Egypt is part of Africa. That's what I thought, but I'm wrong occasionally. So the last thing I want to chat about for a few minutes is your channel build, how you've built your channel. So do you want to, like I said, you've not done any of these live streams. Some of us, I love them because just how have you done it, in your opinion?
In my opinion, I love creating videos. I always have. I've created videos for our family before. A lot of times, though, they would be like, I would take photos of them and put them to music and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I do everything on my phone. I have just an Android phone.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have an iPhone, but I kind of cracked the screen so much that we didn't want to replace it. So I have kind of a mix mosh now because I have an Apple computer.
Mm-hmm.
And I have an Android phone, and I figured out they do not communicate.
Really?
So I can't do some of the editing on my phone and then move over to my computer and do it. So it's kind of messed up.
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't know if I'll get it. I'd love to get another iPhone. My kids all want me to get another iPhone because they just are iPhone people.
Uh-huh.
They're all Apples. But my husband is Android, and he's the one who lives with me, so he's the one who helps me the most with technical.
Sure.
So I went with that.
You know, you do, so you do what you do. We do what we can.
Correct.
I have an Android. I have an Android, and it does what I only video on it. I do not do. I would never be able to edit a thing with that phone. You know, it's not very big. So
yeah.
So you've done video. You do videos. You've done quite a few videos, and what kind of editor do you use?
I think it's called Power Director.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, so I bought the Power Director. I bought that app. And I just do the basic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
As we spoke the other day, I have never fallen in love with editing, but I'm trying. And the conversation we had the other day, teaching you how to use the basics of StreamYard, I am going to edit into.
Yeah, that was great.
A video.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I
think
it
would help other people because, every time you do something new, there's like a little scary process that you have to go through and you have to get over that. But if somebody will just sit with you and walk you through it just for a little while, just to kind of get you over that hump.
Yes.
Now, then you can do things on your own. Like today, you would be so proud of me. I actually watched a StreamYard video. It was very good. So I learned even more things. But I wouldn't even know to go there and find those people to look that stuff up because I would just be too overwhelmed. Like, where do I start?
Right.
So
well,
another was wonderful. Thank you so much.
Well, you're welcome. Someone helped me. Another channel meant to be RVing. And if somebody wants to drop their link, meant to be RVing. Teresa she's the one who got me the basics going over the phone, by the way, over the phone.
Yeah.
How to do it. And that's before I threw my phone across the room and, all that. So so someone taught me, and then I'll always, whatever I know, I'll pass on to other people because I've learned this from other people. I mean, duh. Let me say hello to, this is someone I don't know, Sherry Hannah.
Hi, Sherry.
Okay.
Yeah, I met Sherry at City of Rocks.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, and by the way, all the people that you meet out on the road, did you ever find anybody that it's like, oh no, I wish I'd never met them? People are so nice.
No, I never have actually. No, I've been lucky in that way. Yeah.
Yeah. So is there, I'm trying to think, did I forget anything?
I don't know. How about asking some questions from people in the chat?
Yes, please. If there's some questions, drop them. What
would you like to ask me?
Yeah, she's sitting right here.
Like to not answer. I'll be honest with you guys.
Yeah, she's her videos caught me really quickly. I mean, right away, I was every single video. I thought, I'm really driving her crazy because I would always ask questions and answer.
Yeah.
I would always ask questions and comment on her videos. And that's,
and those comments really keep you going because when you know that you're out there and other people are, listening and kind of like what you have to say, not everybody, I'm not everybody's cup of tea.
Uh-huh.
I've gotten comments, oh, she's so slow. She talks so slow. I'm old,
Oh, God.
So, I'm doing the best I can. I'm not going to change my style.
Right.
Just because one person made a comment. I'm just going to delete them.
There you go.
You don't have to. There's so many people that you can follow. You don't have to follow me. But I do have some wonderful supporters. Really wonderful.
Clearly you do. I mean, I see them on there. So Matilda McIntyre asks, what's been the hardest part of solo traveling?
Connecting to the internet so you can upload your video. Definitely hardest part. Frustrating. Spent so much time at McDonald's and Starbucks. It just takes time. Now I can do a lot of the editing on my phone. That's not the problem. It's sometimes, especially on longer videos, It takes forever. It could take hours to upload one stupid video.
Mhm.
Seriously. So I've gotten to the point where I've shortened my videos, so I'm not sitting there in front of McDonald's forever.
Right. I think if we do ever get to go full time, which is a goal in the right RV, and I'm just saying in the right RV, if we get to go full time, I would look into something like nomad internet.
Yeah, I'm looking into that actually too, but I don't know whether I would be full time enough. I have a family at home. I
Yes.
have grandkids, and which my husband has. When I was gone on my summer and fall trip,
Huh?
my husband took over because I used to go to my son's house, every week, a couple times a week, and babysit my new little grandbaby, and now they have another grandbaby, so he's got two little ones. One of them just turned one, and one is just about a month old. Yeah. So he is such a great father and grandfather, and so he just took over and he went there because my son works from home, and they need a little help sometimes.
Sure.
And so he would take over and he'd take our granddaughter, on walks and things like that. So, they love having us around, and we love going there. We'd love to see it more, but, they have a life too. And that's the thing. I have grandchildren all over the world. I have a grandchild in South Korea. I have, and then I have another grandchild in Vegas. I have grandchildren in Maine.
Oh,
I have 4 kids, 10 grandchildren.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of spread out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good sized family. Well, one of the reasons my little sister doesn't want to travel is she's got 2 grandsons still in grade school. And I said, you know what? You don't have to go out forever, but there's a whole world to see in our country, just in the Pacific Northwest. I mean, really.
Yeah.
So
and each trip is totally different. The 2 trips that I took with my husband cross country are totally different than the trip that I took by myself.
Mm-hmm.
We went to different places. There's so many different routes that you can take. Now, one thing that I did do differently this time is I really took a lot of back roads and I took my time. Mm-hmm. Whereas when I traveled with my husband, we traveled the interstates a lot, and we would stay at places like Flying J, Love's truck stops and things like that. Mm-hmm. And back then, you could also stay at Walmart. You can't hardly do that anymore. That was like my last resort. I hate staying at Walmart. Yeah. Right. I'd rather stay at a Flying J. But, with Sisters on the Fly, there are sisters in every state. Yeah. So I just set that up.
Does that cost anything, Sisters on the Fly?
To be a member of Sisters on the Fly is $70 a year, but the benefits are so great. I mean, if you're a woman and you love to sew, there's sisters with, I don't know what they call it, sewing group and a crafting group. And if you like to fly fish, there's a group for that. If you like the ukulele, I'm part of the ukuleles. Yes. And they have a group for that. And, different camping style groups, if you're just having in a van, you can follow them or with a van, just everything you can possibly think of. They have a side group for that, but it's all part of that same $70 fee that you pay. Yeah, I believe Girl Camper is $10. I don't know if it's per year. I just joined, so I'm not real sure on that. Mm-hmm. I know it's $10 to start. It might be per year or it might be lifetime. I don't know.
So when you were out there, I believe I remember some of the videos. You were camping with other people.
Yeah, I caravanned with other people, and I mostly met them through my Facebook.
How did you like that?
Oh, I loved it. It was so much fun. Really, really fun. Yeah. Cool. Connecting with them. I just, I'm a people person. I know a lot of people who travel full-time. I'm not full-time. But a lot of people nomads that travel, they say, they are an introvert and they like their solitude and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I don't particularly think I'm an extrovert because I am basically shy.
Mhm.
But I love people. I'm a people person and I love meeting people. And I've done a lot of just on the spot interviews with people that I'll meet in, a place that I'll go. Like I was at Mackinac Island this summer.
Oh.
And just at the spur of the moment, I was just talking to one of the guys like that drove the horse buggy, and I had interviewed him. And then I went into one of the fudge shops, and I interviewed a couple of people in the fudge shop. I mean, I just did that on the spur of the moment.
That Mackinac Island is a bucket list for me. If I don't get to go to Mackinac Island, this was all for nothing. Yeah, traveling was all for nothing.
You really have to take your time.
Yeah.
You really do. I went 2 days.
Did you stay on the island?
I did stay on. No, I didn't stay on the island. I stayed on Martha's Vineyard Island when I went there. But no, I stayed. I stayed at a hotel parking lot.
And Martha's. Oh, when you were okay, I see what you're saying.
No, and when I went to Mackinac Island.
Right.
Because there's hotels everywhere. They're not going to notice me in a minivan.
No. I drove by. There's an area here that's right off of Interstate 5, which is right near our main regional hospital. And I had to go there for a test on Tuesday. And I noticed by one of the hotels, there was a Class C RV parked on the street, on the side of the street. But it could very well be someone who's staying at the hotel. Who am I to say?
Yeah, it could be, somebody visiting.
Yes.
Somebody, things like that,
Right. And since it's near a hospital, it could very well be somebody who's staying in the area to be there for their loved one.
That's true.
So I'm trying.
I do have to say it is much easier to stealth park in a minivan than it is an RV.
Yes.
So much easier.
I wish we could figure this out. I just can't. So anyways, do you have a pop-up or anything like that? I know I'm kind of backtracking, but I know you have the little tent for like a I can't think.
You mean like a pod?
Yeah, something that if you were going to stay somewhere for a while. Okay.
No, I have a tent. The only time I stayed in my tent was when I went to I can't even remember the name of the campsite, but I went to see the wild horses.
Oh, gosh.
I think it was in Maryland. That was so much fun. What? They are wild. They come right up to your camp.
Wow.
Yeah, that was really fun.
That would be exciting.
At a certain time of the year, though.
Mm-hmm.
But I just caught the tail end of it. It was so much fun. So I had taken my tent because it was a walk-up site. So I had to carry my tent all the way up, to the sand area. And I wanted to be as close to the beach as possible.
Uh-huh.
So I kind of stupidly, when you have the wet sand, it's really hard.
Yep.
Back further, it's like really soft. Well, I didn't go to the soft area. So I learned a lesson there. Sleeping in my tent on hard sand was not fun. And I didn't want to go all the way back, to my van. I wish I could have stayed in my van, but lesson learned,
right.
You go. But I don't really sleep in my van. I mean, in my tent.
Yeah.
No.
Because people talk.
Today, I ordered a pod. Those shower pods.
Yes.
I just ordered one of those, and I opened it up because I'm known to have a little bit of difficulty sometimes figuring things out. Like it took me forever to figure out. Those pop-up window coverings, those windshield coverings.
Yes.
It took me forever to fold that back up. It takes some skill because you got to twist it this way and twist it that way. Well, I ordered a pod, and it's like really big because it's a shower one, right? It's like you can stand in it. So obviously, same concept with those wires all around it. So I just got it today, and I opened it up, and I says, I'm going to open it up here and figure this out before I go back on the road because I don't know how to do this. Well, I surprised myself, and I folded it up the very first time. pulled it up. So I was like, yay, I got this.
This is what I'm talking about right here. So if I were gonna do camping or traveling in a minivan, or probably in even an extended van, one of the cargo vans to be built out,
Yeah.
this kind of thing. And I'm trying to think of the most popular name, but I can't. So I'm just going to
Well,
share.
they're popular. Ram. What do they call them?
Oh, yes.
Dodge Ram. Something. I can't remember.
But here's the little thing I would like to have. Something like this. Let me share it. That right there.
Oh yeah, I've seen a lot of people with those.
And there's all different sizes. You know, there's pretty small ones. But that would be, you know, make living out of a van easier for me than, you know, than other ways. Just so, but that would only be if I were going to stay somewhere for any length of time, not just like for overnight. That would not be worth it. Well,
would you sleep in that?
No. That's just so we were at Quartzsite for 7 weeks, right? And we stayed in the same.
That was fly away probably at Quartzsite. It was being so windy.
Well, I've seen how people. So I watched Bob Wells, if y'all didn't know that, and I saw him test some things out, and then another person. So, Lori's Way, LORRIE''S Way. If somebody could find her link and drop it, Lori's Way. She put up a shelter. I mean, it's the. This is caught on something, but I'm not going to take my earbuds out to fix it. Okay. So she put up a three or four wall shelter, and over the top, and then she has them staked down with big stakes, strong stakes and strong rope, and she has had it in pretty windy weather there in Quartzsite.
Well, that's good to know.
And it has remained. I mean, I know because Box Van D had it's like I said, it's the most popular one, I think. And it was, you know, like 6 feet across. It flew away. She had the regular stakes, unfortunately. But with what Lori has done, she had the extra strong big stakes and the extra strong rope. So it has been I saw it pouring rain, wind, and they have a bunch of chairs under there and a place to cook, a table set up. They're, you know,
nice. Yeah.
So I believe this is Lori's Way right here. So she's a good. Yeah, I got to meet her last year in Quartzsite. So yeah, when we were Quartzsite, we stayed in the same spot, partly because we'd screwed up on solar, which is not a story I'm going to tell right now, because anybody who watches me knows that the solar was the bane of our existence for 7 very long weeks, which is being all rectified. So next time. Backtracking one more time, because we've gone an hour and a half. I can't even believe it. And I don't want to keep you hostage. If you have to go, you have to go, and that's fine.
It's actually my husband's birthday today, so we're gonna go pick my grandson up in a little while and take him out to dinner.
Okay, well, happy birthday! And by the way, I think he needs a trophy. My husband, in a million years, would never be able to do what your husband has done, at all. And he would die before I got home because all he could cook is top ramen, and he can make an egg, and that is it.
Well, you know, just like I figure out how to be on the road, he figures out how to be home by himself.
Well, that makes
sense. We'll be married 50 years this coming July.
Wow.
So we've been married a long time.
Yes.
And, you know, I have like this little saying that I say, if not now, when?
That's right.
When? You know, next month, February 2nd, I'm going to be 70 years old. I can't even believe it.
You do not remotely.
You know, he's 3 years older than me, so he just turned 73. I says, you know, if you keep having these birthdays, that means that next month I got to have one too.
Yes,
yes. That's like the 71. I'm not ready for that yet.
I hear you. I just turned 60.
I told him, I said, you know, let's just knock off 20 years. I think we could still get away with it. You know, if we talk of 20 years, because, you know, we have grandkids at that, you know, in your 50s, you can have grandkids and stuff like that.
Yes. Well, I heard.
So I made this little deal to do that.
I heard 70 is the new, or 70 is the new 50.
50. Okay, I wanted to go down to 40, but
Okay.
how would you explain that to your grandkids?
I do not know. That would be hard.
I could probably get away with 50.
Clam is the one I was thinking of, a clam,
Oh, yeah,
because they're just so easy to put up. But in windy weather, they have to be staked
Oh,
on high.
that's expensive. Is it really worth it? I don't know.
Well, there's other brands. There's other brands. All right. Well, I'm not going to keep you because you got a thing to go do, and I just appreciate that you spent this much time with us, and that you've given us some great information. And I will please everybody
to read the chat, but you know I can't multitask that well, and people that know me, you know that about me. So I will read all of your messages, and if there's a way I don't know to comment, you know, or maybe leave the comments below and I can comment on them.
They will be in the when I download this to YouTube, it will be the chat will be there to go back to.
That'd be great. Yeah. Thank you all for coming.
All right, dear. Well, thank you.
And you know, I got this. I got brave now, and I think I'm gonna do some live streams.
When is your first live stream scheduled for?
You know what? I'm gonna wait until you get out of the hospital so you can help me with that.
Oh, all right. I will make it. I'll make it as fast as I can.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds
well,
good. Yeah.
Thank you, Elaine.
I need just one more crutch.
Yeah. All right. That's perfectly fine with me. All right. Well, you have a nice evening, and thank you so much. And I'm sure we'll be talking again pretty soon.
All right. Have a good surgery tomorrow.
All
good
right.
luck to you. Best of luck.
Thank you, dear.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. All right. Well, I knew that was going to be a great interview. She is a wonderful lady, has a lot of great information. And if you're not a friend of hers, please go to her channel and make her a friend and let her know that I sent you. And you could use acronym butter if you want to. So just a quick update on tomorrow. Tomorrow is my back surgery. Tomorrow is my back surgery. I have to be there at 5:30 a.m. I will be the first surgery at 7:30. And so I'm looking forward to it. It's when I was in the kitchen right before we started, I got a nerve sensation down both legs that made it feel like it wasn't painful. It's just a very bizarre, uncomfortable sensation. And I felt like I was not going to be able to stand. And so I rushed over to my chair and sat down, and my son finished my coffee and brought it over to me. So I'm taking a taxi cab. I believe you have to hit, Elaine, you have to hit exit or leave studio. If you can see leave studio, that's how there you go. So I'm taking a taxi cab because I don't expect or want Richard or our son to be sitting in the hospital from 5:30 in the morning until all day long. I'd rather have Richard come up later. I'm not even sure they're allowing friends to come in the hospital at this time. So I've got a great surgeon. He's done 12 other back surgeries on me, and I'm sure this one will fly right through. I will be in the hospital at McKenzie-Willamette Hospital, which is not the big hospital, but it's one I've got to go to get this done. And I'm not looking forward to that. The other one is beautiful, looks out over the river. That's where all of them have been. So this is a new experience in some ways for me, but I'll get through it. And as soon as I can, I will put a message up that I have survived and that I'm moving forward. And I will be in the hospital at least one day, maybe 2 days, and then home and recovering from there. So you guys, thank you so much for showing up and for all the just being here. I really genuinely appreciate it, and I love you guys, and you are the reason I have a channel. Richard and I have I know that most of you understand when I say I really mean Richard and I. He's just in the background. And so thank you so much for hanging out for today, and I will see you all very soon. And stay safe, stay healthy, and be kind to one another. That's kind of what I'm thinking about. Be kind to one another. Bye-bye.